when you put these together, this is what it might look like, and just with 2 mounting screws on each side. And we will go through the process of offering them up to the door to see if I have the angle of attack correct here. I'm just wondering if these little edges of the wood might need to be sawed off or sanded away to make sure there's nothing that might possibly catch, but we'll see if we have to do that at all. Now I ended up making 6 of these short little bearing supports out of the same walnut material or stock. I countersunk the holes on the back side so that the lock washers would be able to fit flush inside, and that way this can be mounted completely flush against the side of the cabinet. So I'm putting one together here and just simply have just the washer, the lock washer on this side. And because you don't have enough room to get a wrench to hold that nut tight, I'm just jamming in a regular little flat screwdriver to keep the nut from twisting as I tighten it down. So we kind of assemble it with the bolt and the regular flat washer. Then the little plastic air tube fits inside the opening or the inner diameter of the ball bearing and gives us a centering sleeve. Then the machine screw goes inside of that. It's a tight fit. So let's see how close we can get this to focus. One thing to notice that the plastic tube has to extend a tiny bit past the bearing, the inner race, so that when this other washer goes on, it will pinch that plastic tubing, expand it a little bit, and that makes sure that when the bearing moves, it rolls around the bearing and does not spin around the plastic insert. Here's a look at the 2 guides in place. The cabinet mock-up is laying on its top. Got 2 boards to shim to keep the guides in a relatively parallel position. So they're screwed in place, and let's flip it over and see if this thing works. So we have our temporary knob here for our mock-up. So this is going to be resting on a little bit of tiny little shims in the back so that we get an equal gap top to bottom. But the idea is that you're going to lift up a little bit, tilt it back, and roll it back. So I think we got ourselves a movie.